brand new purple light, friends, facts, brand new purple light, friends, red and blue, purple light, friends, facts. You can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I opened my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah, we gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts, we in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts, peace, love and light, peace, love. Brand new purple light, friends, brand new purple light, friends, facts, brand new purple light, friends, red and blue, purple light, friends, facts. You can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I opened my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah, we gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts, we in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts, peace, love and light, peace, love. To the family, peace, love and light. To the family, peace, love and light. To the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you and it's going to provoke you and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.
Peace to you and yours. Peace to you and yours. Welcome, 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 y'all. Welcome to Know the Ledger 444. And this is Third Eye Thursdays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pillar. All right. Shout out to everybody in the building. You dig? Shout out to everybody in the building. All right. Let's do the roll call and see who we got in the building. Shout out to everybody on this. This is one of those late night shows, but I appreciate everybody for pulling up. We're going to have a powerful show tonight. Greetings from California, San Fran to be exact. We got Montgomery in the building, all right? my mound builders, my Mississippians. Talk about it. You know what I'm talking about? We got San Jose, Tuscaloosa. All right. We got Tuscaloosa. We got College Park, Seminole, Memphis, NY. All right. We got Durham and whatnot, CT, the BX and whatnot, St. Louis, Inglewood, Michigan, Greenville, Los Angeles, St. Louis, Portersville, Houston, Compton, Tuscaloosa. Yeah, we outside. You know what I'm talking about? You say you and your queen slow jamming. That's right. Belize is in the building. Orange Mound is in the building. We got Phoenix in the building. Nashville is in the building. Pittsburgh, Queensbridge. You feel me? New Orleans. What's up? Peace to everybody. What's up? Ireland is in the building. Yo, I just had a powerful show. I just did a show before I started this show. And I encourage all of y'all to check it out. Too Raw for TV.tv. I'm gonna see if I could get the link for the show and I will post it in the chat room. And I'll also have it in the description of the video for the people who are going to listen to this on the replay. Just go in the description and click on that video entitled Hoodoo or Harp. And I just did it. It's fire, about an hour and a half long with the good brother Too Raw for TV. I actually had a slideshow and all of that. So, yeah. You said you need a Grammy for that. When we get the platinum plaque, I'm gonna give everybody who played a part with helping that thing go platinum. Y'all are all gonna get your plaques. So, trust and believe that we got y'all covered and whatnot. We got, matter of fact, we actually have something to show tonight, a little bit of treats and whatnot. We got a little treat, but yeah. Let me see. Not yet. Let me see. When am I gonna bring Taj back? Soon. I don't want to run it to the ground, That Taj show that we did was a classic. Feel me? So that's a classic. That's probably the best show this year, this calendar year. It went viral and whatnot. But yeah, it will be time for Taj to come back because the elections is right around the corner. So I probably will tap his shoulders post election. You know what I mean? So, look out for that. Tennessee, and whatnot. But yeah, so yeah, let's get into the conversation. I damn sure don't want to hold everybody all night and whatnot. We'll have a nice little build and whatnot, and then we'll get you up out of here because I know people got work and shit in life. But yeah. Let's check this clip out. Before we even begin, I have to go to my sponsors. We do have sponsors for tonight's show. All right. So shout out to my good brother Q Reeves. And I do want to remind the family that me and the good brother Q Reeves will be doing our masterclass. All right. First time doing this together and whatnot. We're going to be doing a masterclass this Saturday, and it is entitled Unveiling the Veil. Okay. Unveiling the Veil. And it is a masterclass in spiritual expansion featuring the good brother Q Reeves. And that is on Saturn Day at 8 p.m. All right. If you click on that QR code, if you scan the QR code, or if you click on the link in the description, it will take you to the Eventbrite so you could purchase your ticket. Okay. And hopefully I'll bring the brother through tomorrow before Saturday we'll get something in real quick. Do you know? Check this out. Right. And remember, because let's stay on the WWE or just wrestling in general and what it means to the psyche of Western man and what it did to the programming of all of us. Who were right and when we were, and now that the revelation of Vince McMahon, who somehow, some way, and just to show you the power of the programming, he's worse than Diddy, and he never even went through the public scrutiny. The lawsuit was out. You could read it. They were having little, Entertainment Tonight was covering it a few times. Like they gave it a little brush over, but they went past on that. The majority of his fans who are locked in, Vince McMahon got niggas in a headlock from the 80s, bro. My generation, not gonna turn on him. Feel me?
Nah, he's ingrained in our culture more than Diddy.
Right. He comes before Trump. Trump came on his show and got put in a headlock and jumped off of the rope. He ain't go on The Apprentice. You know what I'm talking about?
Facts. You came to me. I ain't come to you.
I ain't come to you. He got legitimized through. Trump was getting legitimized through wrestling. I bring Trump up because Trump in the WWE and all the niggas that have been programmed by it are one and the same and intricately connected. And do you know, just for the sake of doing esoteric magic and things of that nature, do you know that there was a Kamala Harris in the WWF?
That role, that personality?
No, not the archetype. The actual name of one of the wrestlers is Kamala Harris. And this character was the shit when I was into wrestling coming up. He was a legend. He was a big legend for a very long time, especially the Generation X. Anybody that came up, I'm in my late 40s. So anybody that was locked in, you know who this man is. Feel me? You know who this man is. And you know the significance that he had in the quote unquote in wrestling. You know the significance that he had.
Yeah, he made the video game and everything. I remember. He made
the video game and everything.
Video game. That's undisputable. Then.
When we was clowning Africa, yeah, he was that dude that we unashamedly, like nobody, you know, the real light, you know what I mean? That's just a glimpse of a conversation that we had the other day, and on Saturday we're going to be taking it to way further depths. This class will be about spiritual expansion, ladies and gentlemen. Please do not miss this upcoming event this Saturday at 8 p.m. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you in the building. And to sweeten the deal, of course, anybody that buys the ticket tonight, all right, anybody that purchases the ticket tonight, you will get these two lectures as a free add-on to your purchase. You're going to be getting Fear of a Blackamoor Messiah, Project Fear, featuring me and the good brother Sharif Anail Bey. All right. When we were doing this lecture, breaking things down and predicting, Kamala, I don't even think was the candidate. She became the candidate while we were putting this lecture together, if my memory serves me correct. And yeah, this was in July. So July 28th, she becomes a candidate July the 21st on our proclamation day. So yeah, this is the lead up. All right. Classic lecture right here. And then this one, of course, Jason, we are in November. We are at the end of the Jason month. When we did When in Rome, it was the beginning of the Jason month. This is Sunday, June the 30th. So you get to watch this lecture and examine everything that we were predicting, everything that we were building on and speaking on. All of these characters are in play. Putin, They just had the BRICS conference, right? He was the one who put the Jason Acts to the US dollar. Vladimir Putin, that you see right there near Trump, he's the one that put the dollar in the coffin. This is in July. This is in June, ladies and gentlemen. When in Rome, okay? It makes more sense months later. When in Rome, it makes more sense months later. Vladimir Putin, just today, okay, in Russia, they have the BRICS conference, and there's world leaders and big dogs over there. We'll take a trip to. We'll go to the. We'll read about that. Donald Trump, you already know what's going on with Donald Trump. He's up on the betting websites. They got Donald Trump in the lead. Okay, they got Donald Trump. He's up. You know what I mean? On Poly Market, we'll also check that out. Of course, Diddy. You know, that speaks for itself. We told you that was on the way. We kind of let you know that this one was damn near inevitable. And here we are. All right. Here we are. One of the biggest stories of 2024. Undoubtedly, there's nothing bigger than this story unless we get an October surprise. Even Kamala as president wouldn't be as big as the P. Diddy scandal because the shit is just beginning. Yeah. So that's what you get. All right. That's what you get with your purchase of a ticket tonight. So shout out everybody in the building who will be there on Saturday. So I was showing this clip, this quick commercial with Vince McMahon for a reason, right? I had to bring it back. I was like, damn, you know, we such a hypocritical people because we have this thing in this culture where you could be guilty by a proximity, right? You're guilty by association in our culture, meaning that if you run around with pedos and pervs and whatnot, it's assumed that you are down with the program, right? You can't run around with killers and not be about the killing, okay? You can't run around with killers and not be about the killing. So Vince McMahon, they just had a lawsuit, another lawsuit drop on it. Okay. They just got another lawsuit dropped on Vince McMahon and his wife. Okay. Vince McMahon and his wisdom, right? They just got hit with a lawsuit. And this lawsuit is, it was inferring that him and his wife were working in tandem to maintain, right, the exploitation sexually of their employees. Okay. So let's go and check this article out. Let's go and read up on our guy, Vince McMahon, right? And when you find out what Vince McMahon was up to, okay, and you see how close Vince McMahon is to the White House, you would have to begin to ask questions. If you're a question asking kind of person, it would lead you to question things, to say, how guilty is a Donald Trump? Because he has some people that he keeps around him who have very shady characters. I mean, you know, they said birds of a feather flock together. You know, they said thoughts run in flocks. And Mr. Grab 'em by the Punani, you know, he tends to be around a lot of people who are also very abusive. You know what they say about white men with a lot of money, right? Let's check this article out on your favorite CEO, Vince McMahon, who, like I said in that commercial, Vince McMahon, to be honest with you, for my generation, I'm Generation X, right? For my generation, Vince McMahon, he got bigger britches than a Donald Trump. You feel me? He was over Donald Trump. He put Donald Trump on in the entertainment world. Donald Trump was already Donald Trump. They knew about Donald Trump. He was already ringing bells and whatnot. He had a great publicist. However, when it came to Donald Trump, the character, Donald Trump, the entertainer, Donald Trump, the reality type of star, right? The character, that is a result of the Vince McMahon's Writers Club. They mythologically brought Donald Trump into the world of wrestling, and intertwined in the world of wrestling, right, is millions upon millions of quote unquote mindless followers, right, who still remember Donald Trump from WrestleMania. That's where he gets his quote unquote fanboy cool points. That's where he gets his quote unquote bromance from. That's where he gets this. That's where these young boys, these wrestling fan types, right? That's where the fandom comes from. A lot of the fandom, the fact that he's like a mythical figure and whatnot. That shit started on motherfucking WWE, bro. That shit started with him getting put in headlocks by Hulk Hogan. That shit started with him running down the fucking the hallway and drop kicking Vince McMahon and stuff like that. All of that, you know, it was almost like Jerry Springer type shit all the way back then. You know what I mean? And they mixed it in with politics. And now what they're doing in politics is the same thing. Him getting shot allegedly in his damn ear. Nigga, that is Vince McMahon 101. I promise you, I put money on it. We could go to a Poly Market and make a bet that one day some story is going to surface that Vince McMahon has something to do with that fake ass assassination attempt where he allegedly got his ear blown off. Or he allegedly got shot in the air and his damn ear is still there, right? They just put out a report where they literally showed through ballistics and everything that it was literally impossible for him to have gotten shot in the goddamn ear by an AR-15 and it didn't tear the fucking ear off. Now we're talking about Wolverine type of mutant if that wasn't the case. Fuck luck and divine intervention. You a damn mutant if you still have your ear. You don't got no keloids. You ain't get no stitches, my nigga. I'm not buying. It's WWE fake. The blood came from Vince McMahon's locker room. That the blood packet, that shit came out of a Vince McMahon cabinet. And all of the theatrics, when you really look at it, all of this shit is all wrestling. And he's being exposed. He's being exposed. This is a big quote unquote. He the falling. He already has fallen. It's just niggas didn't catch him already because the media is biased. That's the best way to that's the best assessment that you could get, is that the media is super biased when it comes to, or whoever his lawyer and PR team is, their money is long because they're making sure that this nigga does not get the Diddy treatment. Okay. The Vince McMahon, the McMahon family, they could go outside with their fucking head high still and walk around and talk shit. The goddamn Combs in them, they cannot do that. And Diddy got a fresh charge. Vince McMahon, he had discharged for a few years and nobody seems to care. But if you read the report, the first lawsuit that they put on this nigga, crazy. He was into some whole nother shit. Talk about a freak off and whatnot. He was doing he was doing everything with everyone. That's what I'm talking about. This nigga is the P. Diddy of Connecticut. He's the P. Diddy of Connecticut. You know what I'm talking about? I'm surprised, and I wouldn't be surprised if Sean Combs wasn't renting men out of the WWE. Just think about it. I wouldn't be surprised if he was Uber eating these niggas. He was ordering, you know what I mean, grown, robust wrestlers out of the WWE, out of Vince McMahon's harem. You know what I'm talking about? Or with some Abercrombie models, nigga. Like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? They just found a new lawsuit on Vince. They just filed a new, the new lawsuit is right here. They getting him and his bird, him and his whiz. Look, new lawsuit filed against Vince McMahon, Linda McMahon, and TKO Group Holdings regarding Ring Boy scandal. So they going after TKO Group Holdings. They going after the bread now. Whoever's filing this lawsuit is they doing a takedown and whatnot. They're going after TKO Group Holdings. So he was able to wiggle around before, move his assets and things of that nature, but they're putting fire under him by going after TKO Group Holdings and 5 former ring boys who have accused former WWE employees of sexual abuse. The lawsuit filed on behalf of John Doe 1 through 5 claims that former WWE employees Mel Phillips and Terry Garvin abused ring boys who were hired to assist with errands and other items, and that Mr. and Mrs. McMahon were aware of the abuse but did nothing to stop it. The underage ring boys were groomed, exploited, and sexually abused by Phillips, who targeted children from broken homes. His sexual assaults occurred not only at the wrestling venues, but also in hotel rooms and other locations where Phillips would shuttle the boys in plain sight. Defendants were fully aware of the systematic and pervasive abuse and did nothing to prevent it or stop it, the suit claims. In 1992, Mr. Phillips and Mr. Garvin were accused of having inappropriate contact with Tom Cole, a former ring boy. Pat Patterson was also accused in Mr. Cole's complaint. All 3 resigned from WWE in the wake of accusations. Mr. Garvin died in 98. Mr. Phillips died in 2012. Mr. Patterson died in 2020. Mr. Cole died in 2021. So this nigga is cleaning niggas up. As they cleaning niggas up. What are we doing? I mean, think about it. I used to be like, damn, every other day there's a fucking wrestler dying and shit. I'd be like, God damn it. The mortality rate on the wrestlers is wild high. Like, what are we doing over there? Come to find out, whole time, this nigga is getting niggas drilling. He was out here drilling. Vince McMahon is a driller. Niggas getting knocked off. You feel me? It's crazy over there. So you mean to tell me in the span of 1 month, we find out about Bad Boy Entertainment, right? Abercrombie and Fitch, and now your favorite pastime, young metrosexual boys and men out here who like to play wild video games, and you niggas still walking around with those wrestling belts. Well, guess what? Just like everything else in Western society that has a stain of Romanistic, you know what I'm talking about, Roman DNA all over it. This too is corrupted. This thing called wrestling, because the architect Same way that hip hop is corrupted and the party must, and we watching the party die, is because the architect of a whole fucking generation, a whole era, the architect of that shit is sitting in, either he's in fucking Dubai somewhere chilling in the tunnel or something, or he's in federal penitentiary. Sean Combs, he was the architect of a whole generation. He's on, you know what I mean? So Vince McMahon is an architect of a whole generation of little of really, like, you saw that they gave the archdiocese $1 billion for touching them little boys, right? You saw that they just gave the archdiocese, right? So we learned about P. Diddy, who came from the archdiocese private all boys stuff, right? He come out of that Catholic world, Roman Catholic world, right? So we learned about P. Diddy and his thing, and he infects the whole industry. It's not a bad boy thing. It's not a P. Diddy thing. It's a hip hop. It's not even a hip hop thing. It's bigger than hip hop. Where's M1 at? It's bigger than hip hop. Nigga, Sean Combs, he was taking down everything. It's bigger than hip hop. It's Justin Bieber, nigga. It's Ashton Kutcher. It's Jamie Foxx. It's all of entertainment. He permeated and he was able to infect and he was able to infiltrate and he was able to touch people from all corners. And then you had Harvey Weinstein. He was in Hollywood and he was also standing on top of all of the democratic shit that was going on through Hollywood, through the actors, and he was in charge of he would get you Grammys and he would get you Oscars and whatnot. He was in charge of that whole award ceremonies and shit like that, and he was the biggest donor to the Democrats, and he was the head honcho in Hollywood, and he was called the Beast. So he was breaking niggas, he was chasing niggas down, he was eating souls and whatnot, he was trapping, he was essaying, he was trafficking. Then Epstein, he comes through. Epstein is locking down the philanthropy market. He's running with fucking Bill Gates. He's running with Lex Wessner, who happens to run L Brand, who happens to run Columbus, Ohio. I brought this up before on the show, and I was like, "Yo, y'all got the Knights of Columbus out there, and y'all got Wes Lexner or Les Wexner, whatever the fuck he is, the dude who was running L Brands, and L Brands is Express, Abercrombie and Fitch, but most importantly, Victoria's Secret, right? That was the nigga who financed everything that your boy Jeff Epstein was doing. He was funding Jeffrey Epstein, okay, and he was pimping out. They was also, essaying, they were trafficking them young girls from whatchamacallit, from the what's that? The Victoria's Secret, right? And all of these things are coming out in Hollister and whatnot. So all of that zesty ass cologne that they was spraying on niggas, right? And then they had, remember when they put our children, right? They was like, come and wear this Hollister shit. Niggas was like, Hollister? And they was like, yes. And they was like, all right, we're gonna start dressing like Dawson's Creek. Right? It was never the same after that. Niggas start dressing like Dawson's Creek and they became zesty. Wearing that Abercrombie and Fitch cologne, niggas. And it was compromised whole time. And the models that they was using, it was all Rome, right? They had these little niggas looking like little Roman statues and whatnot. You know what I mean? Later on, you come to find out that's some when in Rome type shit. You know what I'm saying? They had him on some when in Rome type shit. Yeah. Remember all of the zesties in the gap? All the zesties coming out of the gap. You know? The shit been filtered. But like Cat Williams so expertly predicted about the year of 2024, you don't need no, you don't need nobody to try to convince you of anything. All you gotta do is look around. It's all being exposed. All of the secrets are coming out day by day by day. Yeah, them stores definitely look like dungeons. It was mad dark. You feel me? They had on dark light bulbs and whatnot. It smelled like cat piss. You feel me? Inside of Abercrombie, they had the AC on with white boys with no shirt on walking around with chincletas trying to sell you shit. You know? Trying to sell you shit. We used to go in there and boost. You know what I'm saying? Abercrombie was sweet, and I think they used to give money back or something. You know, it started out like that. But come to find out, the CEO, this nigga was a wild boy. When I say Zest Fest, the shit that I read in the report, when I say Zest Fest, I'm not playing. Let's go to my favorite guy. This is my guy, Ian. Let's go to my guy right here. Check this out.
Another sex trafficking ring just got busted, and this time it is Abercrombie and Fitch. And it only takes like 3 minutes on Wikipedia to realize that this is connected directly to Jeffrey Epstein. Hence the Epstein Network shirt. So, the former Abercrombie CEO, Mike Jeffries, was just charged with sex trafficking and interstate prostitution. And the article is basically just all summarize what is described in this 10-page indictment that was just filed. It names 3 co-conspirators: Jeffries, the ex-CEO of Abercrombie, his gay lover, who I think is his husband or partner for a long time, and then one other man that was like their senior manager of this trafficking operation. And real quick, a funny tidbit. That third guy, whose name is James T. Jacobson, I assume it's Todd, he's also known as Jim Jake or Mrs. Cook or Todd. I wonder why they're calling him Mrs. Cook. It's giving shades of Diddy right now. But anyways, basically, it's an international sex trafficking and prostitution business where they were using the modeling arm of Abercrombie and Fitch to trick young men into basically saying, we'll give you a job if you do a little diddling. And then they would fly the good ones out to sex events all around the world. And they would say that could yield modeling opportunities with Abercrombie or otherwise.
So they got the Bucci Olympics. That's what you telling me? Did I just hear him say that they flying niggas to sex parties around the world? So this is the Bussy BMF?
Or otherwise benefit their careers. But they also threatened that if you didn't comply and go to these sex events, then you wouldn't get modeling opportunities and it would harm your career and you would be blacklisted from the industry, more or less. So it alleges that they would have a private tryout with Jeffries or these other higher up older men. And if they were good enough, then they would get the modeling job and they would be given an itinerary for what was actually a sex event, but the itinerary appeared as though it was just a regular photo shoot trip that they would fly somewhere and do a photo shoot. And so they were being tricked into like, oh, you did that one thing and now you're all clear. You got the job. Fly over to that other country. You're going to take lots of photos. It's going to be great. Surprise, you are now at a freak off. They required the men to sign non-disclosure agreements, and they alleged they intentionally recruited heterosexual men, certain of whom were unwilling to engage in particular acts, and then they coerced.
See, this is where it becomes a ritual. This is where it becomes spirit cooking. This is where it becomes a quote unquote satanic ritual versus men having fun, right? Now, when you describe terrorism, right? When terrorism is described to people, I don't understand. It's not giving. It depends on who's describing terrorism. But ultimately, what terrorism is the psychological effects that you are able to leave on the people who were not killed. You understand? Terrorism is not them bombing children and stuff like that. The terroristic act is the fact that they're putting a whole population underneath fear and whatnot. Terrorism is when they were taking a person and having four different horses running four different directions, and basically in front of a whole village when they were whipping somebody to death and whatnot. That's terrorism because you're now inflicting fear on groups of people by committing acts of barbarity and whatnot. So when they take groups, when they take a man or when they take an individual who is not about something, and then they are traumatizing that person, they are tricking that person, they are quote unquote drugging that person, they are violating that person. That is different than if they were to say, you know what, this is Abercrombie and Fitch, this is our preference, this is what we're into. There are mad sweet young niggas out here, right? There's mad zesty young men. Like if they wanted a young blonde, there are groups of young blonde who are LBGT. So this opportunity, they will probably be like, that's a plus. They would be, I'm getting flued out by Abercrombie and Fitch, the big homies at, because you know how the zesties are. They like, are we getting flued out? You know what I'm saying? It's a boys trip, right? And they would be like, yo, we outside. They would be on Snapchat. We outside. They on TikTok, like, girl, you wouldn't believe what happened. We was all up in Abercrombie. No, the real Abercrombie. No, but that's not what they're doing. They're not getting zesty boys. They're not getting boys who are down with the program. They're getting heterosexual young men, and they are committing acts of vampirism to them. It reminds me of Lestat. It reminds me of Interview with a Vampire. It reminds me of vampirism. It you take people who are considered to be innocent, right? That's where the terrorism comes in. You're not finding people who are already sullied and whatnot, and this is what they do. It's not like they were hiring male prostitutes who go that way and whatnot. And that's the same case. It keeps occurring like that, even with the P. Diddy situation. They were saying that he had access to, you know, men who lived that life, but he didn't want that. He was going after the men that don't live that life, that don't subscribe to that way of life. He was about turning them out, biting them like vampires, making them one of them, making those people one of them, bringing them in. So when you look at this whole cabal that they have, this is about turning people. This is about quote unquote breaking people. This is about making, this is about defeating people, conquering people. Is Roman antics. But let us continue.
Forced, trapped them in until they complied with certain things, as in they literally had staff that ensured that men attending did not leave the events until Jeffries and Smith decided they were over. And there's all kinds of other things, like how they injected their dicks to make them be able to participate if they were not otherwise capable. There's lots of other details about how this went down. Don't need to go into all of it. It's worth noting that it appears, my read of what's in this indictment makes it seem as though this is based upon the testimony of, I think, 12 witnesses who were men that were victims of this scheme that have come forward. And so what is in this indictment is limited to what they saw and experienced. This indictment does not necessarily allege that they were like selling the services to other people or like actually like trafficking in a broader sense, but I suspect they were. It's kind of ambiguous in the language used in here. It kind of frames this as though this was all for Jeffries' pleasure, but it kind of also implies that this was not all just for him. But anyways, the Jeffrey Epstein connection. I put all these notes directly into my Jeffrey Epstein note file because the connection is right there. Because in 1988, Abercrombie & Fitch was bought by The Limited, now known as L Brands, the company that owns Victoria's Secret. And then they put Jeffries in charge basically right after. He was their guy. And if you're not familiar with The Limited, that is Leslie Wexner's brand. Directly, we'll get to the Jeffrey Epstein stuff here in just a second. But I wanted to also mention for all of you millennials out there that Hollister was started as a subsidiary of Abercrombie & Fitch. They're the same company. Hollister, it's funny to note, Hollister claims in their marketing and branding, founded in 1922, Hollister, California. And that's a fucking lie. They were founded in the year 2000 in Ohio by Abercrombie & Fitch. So if you're a millennial and you remember going to the mall to hang out with your friends and Hollister and Abercrombie were right across from each other and you like literally got cancer just from smelling the perfume as you walked by, that was the same company on both sides there, and both were literally running a giant sexual trafficking ring. On behalf of Leslie Wexner, who put the dude in, like the dude who's just been charged was his guy, who he put in as CEO. Leslie Wexner was Jeffrey Epstein's boy. They were tied at the hip. They only mentioned Jeffrey Epstein 5 times on Leslie Wexner's Wikipedia page, and they try to kind of sterilize it to make it sound like it's like, oh, it was just like a little bit of money management, but no, it was not. I mean, he just retained him as a financial manager from that year to that year. It wasn't that big a deal. I mean, he only granted Jeffrey Epstein power of attorney over all of his assets, which, like, let's pause for a second and unpack what that means. That means that Les Wexner, the owner of Victoria's Secret and all of L Brands, including Abercrombie & Fitch, gave Jeffrey Epstein complete power over every single asset in his life. All of his billions of dollars, Jeffrey Epstein was allowed to send as much money as he wanted, anywhere that he wanted, at any time without Leslie's oversight. He could open companies in Leslie's name. He could sell companies in Leslie's name. He had complete control over everything Leslie owned if he wanted to exercise it. Okay? And to be clear, this was a Mossad operation. This was an Israeli operation, just to be clear. Anyone who's still trying to argue that has clearly not done their research, and we can talk about that another time. I mean, for starters, right here in my screenshot, we've also got Ehud Barak, one of his other good buddies, who was his Israeli handler back in the days when he was trafficking weapons on behalf of Israel. That's when he went from banking into trafficking weapons, into trafficking young women and boys. So, like, Ehud Barak, the ex-prime minister of Israel, at the time he was the head of Israeli intelligence. So anyways, a little bit more about Leslie Wexner, who owns Victoria's Secret, L Brands, and Abercrombie & Fitch, who put this guy in, and his demon, self-proclaimed demon possession. Because although they skim right over all the Jeffrey Epstein stuff on his Wikipedia page, but they at least mention this New York Magazine profile in 1985 where he talked about being possessed by a D-book, or however you say it in Yiddish, I don't know. The Wikipedia page is okay, but Whitney Webb did a way better job on this one. It's one of my favorite chapters from One Nation Under Blackmail, Volume 2. The dark side of Wexner's philanthropy, Wexner and his D-book. And Wexner self-identified. He was telling the story of how he was possessed by this D-book spirit that drove him to success.
Real quick, before he gets into that D-book, right? Remember what we were talking about with the egregores, okay? And also remember what we've been speaking about recently about attachments, all right, and demon possession, right? Demon possession. The fact that you could look at an old picture of Sean Combs, and then there was a mugshot picture of Sean Combs. I think it was the mugshot when he beat up the coach, his son's football coach at UCLA and whatnot. He took a mugshot, and the look on his face, right? His eyes, he like a fucking alien, but you could clearly see demon possession, right? So there are a lot of people when we talk about these practices that these people are doing in these quote unquote organizations. This is demon. They're dealing with a form of demonic possession. The fact that they're looking for these innocent heterosexual young men who they could trick and who they could buck break and who they could fool and whatnot. That's where the demon possession starts to take place, right? So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And apply this to so many other cases, like those priests that those Catholic priests and whatnot that just got sued for $1 billion, the demons that are in them and whatnot, like P. Diddy and all of his quote unquote demons that lurk around him that do demonic things to women, children, boys, men, and all kind of things.
But a D-book in like Yiddish folklore, as defined by Encyclopedia Britannica, a D-book is a Jewish folklore term for a disembodied human spirit that, because of former sins, wanders restlessly until it finds a haven in the body of a living person. Unlike spirits that have yet to move on but possess positive qualities, such as the Magid or Ibur, the D-book is almost always considered to be malicious, which leads it to be translated in English as demon. All kinds of other interesting bits here. So anyways, one of the most powerful Jewish philanthropists in the world, who was extremely tied to Israel, who basically founded what became Birthright Israel, as well as so many other pieces of like pro-Israel philanthropy. He funded and put together the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking network, and then basically gave Jeff Epstein everything he needed to manage it and to operate that. But not only that, he also, in addition to owning Victoria's Secret, I'm sure there's lots more to come out there, he also bought Abercrombie and Fitch and installed his guy in charge of Abercrombie and Fitch. And that guy just got indicted for running his own interstate sex trafficking and prostitution ring. This one focused on young men. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention that when Jeffries took over in 1990s, he specifically refocused the brand on the teen customer. He rebranded Abercrombie and Fitch and founded Hollister in order to target teen boys and girls. Remember, these are some of the biggest companies in the world. They're right there in your shopping malls. They're right there in your daily lives. They are operating sex trafficking rings. What do you think that means about all the other suspicious stuff we see, all the other conspiracy theories? You might want to start rethinking your worldview a little bit, because Pizzagate is real.
That's crazy. You feel me? That's crazy. You know? And once again, like I say, when they're marketing and they have Black children adopting the look and the archetype that they are putting their intentions behind, they're like, yo, this is the intention. We have a crypto homo, a homosexual organization, right? With little boys, where we're practicing PDF files and everything. And we're targeting the Black hip hop community so they could start dressing like us. And then these young boys start acting weird and strange, and they start acting besides themselves. But they was wearing that Hollister when they started twerking and whatnot. They was wearing them ripped up jeans from Abercrombie. They were wearing the fucking, they were outside trying to look like 901, 210 and all of that. Okay. The fabrics hold a lot of energy, the cotton and whatnot. So it's important to dress, your wardrobe should should reflect the fact that, you know, you are in a war zone. You know what I'm talking about? Your drip should complement your mind state. Don't wear no goddamn Hollister. Yeah, the True Religion jeans, those was you know, yo, ladies, remember y'all was rocking with dudes with baggy pants, like they were sagging. Remember that? Remember niggas was walking like penguins and whatnot because their pants was so low. I remember when I had a pair of True Religion jeans and the crotch on the True Religion jeans was cut so high up that I couldn't even wear them shits on my waist. I had to pull them down because, you know, the Mondem couldn't breathe. So that was called the European cut. You know what I'm talking about? It was like a snip cut. I needed some space. So they had our people wearing all of this European cut and whatnot, and they had to sag their jeans. You know what I'm saying? Because they needed some room to breathe. They needed some goddamn wiggle room. You feel me? Those European cuts, we're not cut like European. We don't have the same dimensions and whatnot. So that shit was a farce. Any type of clothes that get cut in Milan and cut with the Bati boy measurements and whatnot, you know, Badman no dress like, girl, you got niggas out here bloused up, you know what I mean? Skirts and blouse. And we wonder. So don't be surprised. All of this shit is coming out. The fashion industry. You think if Abercrombie and Fitch was out here running around like Caligula, what the fuck are they doing over at D&G? What are they doing over there at Rick Owens? Did you see his wife before? What are they doing over there in Paris, nigga? If they running if they running the Bussy Olympics out of Abercrombie, what are they running out of? What are they running out of the spots that are outrightly Roman? I'm wondering. Imagine what the fuck they doing. So this whole shit is compromised. It's all Roman. When in Rome, I think we need to do a win. I'm gonna talk to Blue. I think it's time for a new win in Rome already. Because every day it's just making itself more apparent. I mean, this we should name this one the Great Fall. The fall is accelerating. The fall of Rome, the shit is at acceleration rates, bruh. Dead ass. Like, I don't even gotta work right now. I could literally, you know what I'm talking about? I can retire. This shit is over with. If niggas know how to read, key point, you gotta know how to read. You gotta know how to read. Because you gotta be able to read these reports. The shit that the news is reporting is the most dumbed down, you know, they're not giving you the meat and potatoes of damn near anything. They didn't even tie the Abercrombie dude with Lex Wessler. They didn't even tie that into Epstein. Like, none of the news reports that came out because they broke this story on Tuesday. Right after Melanin Monday, I woke up on Tuesday. The Abercrombie story broke and whatnot, but nobody except the independent journalists on YouTube and my dude Ian and them, they were the only ones that were tying shit together. That's how you know the media is a crock of shit. You know, it's a crock of shit. You know, Olympus has fallen. Watching the party die. The shit is on the way out. This story this here, this is going to be a big one. Okay, this one is going to be a big one, and I'm sad that it went out like this, but in the ongoing saga, you know, of the drill trilogy, you know what I mean, the horror movie named Drill, right? In our latest street drill news, because you know we always got to come with some new street drill shit, right? So in our latest reports of the drill culture in drill news, we got Lil Durk, who has been embracing the Islamic faith real heavy over the past, right? He has embraced Islam by way of his father, which to me was very wise. I do think that he knew that the jail cell was coming or the grave was coming, because he lost his brother D Thang and whatnot. And his dad just came home. Big Dirk came home from doing the long bid. So when I seen him gravitating towards Islam and embracing it, I was elated, because I was like, that's honorable, because that's your dad. You know what I mean? That's some shit your dad is on. Um, and you know, and it's also a way to kind of like secure yourself in case you go down, right? Because I feel that he knew that he was gonna go down. Um, and yeah, I think that road has come to an end. And I would rather see Little Dirk get locked up than bodied, to be honest with you. It's either one or two things. You stay outside too long, you're gonna get spanked. You know what I mean? Somebody gonna take your top and whatnot. But when you go behind the wall, he just got arrested in Broward. Yeah. So it's pretty much a wrap. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be the big Rico in Chicago. They just gave him the key to the city. Whenever they give a rapper the key to the city, he's going down and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? These young men have been at war. He's been at war for many, many years and whatnot. And he lost a lot of people that was close to him. He lost, you know what I mean? And it's but like I said, to be reading a RIP, that would be more disheartening, because at least you get an opportunity to do something, either from behind the wall or when you come home, if you do come home. You feel me? But like Kendrick said, we are watching the party die. And with Dirk going down and getting a Rico, that's pretty much going to put a cap on a lot of Chicago drill. They just killed the little 15-year-old drill rapper in Chicago. Little 50 is his name. That whole shit with the with Bloodhound Jeff, little Bloodhound Jeff, all of that shit yeah, it's crazy out there. It's crazy out there. Um and yeah, it's something got to make it slow down. So, you know, the jail is the new industry, to be honest with you. The jail is the new industry. You know what I'm talking about? But if he stay on his Muslim shit, if he stay with the dean and whatnot, he could bring sweeping changes to a lot of the quote unquote people that are already locked up, who are hopeless. They got to find something to to change themselves. And Dirk will just be that sacrifice. You know what I mean? Like I said before, even when it came to some of the conscious teachers going down in flames and going into the underworld, or what we would call being buried alive in purgatory, it's unfortunate, but it's so many of our people, potential messiahs, soldiers, young men and women who are in purgatory, who are running in the yard, headless like chickens. They need help behind the walls. They need inspiration. They need the voice. They need the voice. You know what I'm saying? So some people just got to go and sit down, you know. But these little niggas is in real wars. Like they didn't have. We wasn't going through the in hip hop when I was coming up. I really don't know if it was that deadly with some of the rappers. These dudes is on another different deadly shit. And then the niggas coming behind them, like Vaughn, Dirk, and them. Yeah, you know, that whole old block 600 shit, that was a deadly war and everything with them versus, FBG Duck and all of that and all of the other niggas they had beef with. But the little niggas, the little 18 and 17 and 16, the little niggas that sniffing the perks, yeah, they're going crazy. They the ones hopping out like the little niggas, the YBC dueling them out of Philly. They're the ones wilding. You can't tell that they more wilder than the ones that are like 25 because they getting older. They got children. They slowing. They understanding. Yeah, this shit is real. I want to live my life. I want to experience. These little kids are 17 and they following King Vaughn and and other NBA young boy and shit. Nah, the YNS, right? They crashing out. They crashing out. They crashing out. Crazy that Chief Keef made it out of all of them. And he might be the only one that is able to stay out of the feds. Yep, NBA and Dirk is in jail. You know. The prison for profit niggas is I know they eating. The prison for profit, they I know they eating. It's a lot of dudes in the pokey, bro. When I tell you, I don't think people made it the correct. It's a lot of people locked up, bro. A lot. From around BMF era, them niggas was going in left and right. And a lot of those people are coming home, doing 20 and 25 and shit like that. I think Dirk, if I think if this is what it is, that's murder for hire. That's life natural. That's life natural type shit. Or that's death penalty. So, shit crazy. But the industry, man, it's just another blow to the industry. And these are blows that the industry kind of need, man. It gotta, you know what I mean? It's tough love. It gotta fall. This is the great fall. This shit gotta go. I would have wished that for this young man's sake, he got 10 children or something. I would have wished that he would have found some type of order before, years before, maybe. You know what I mean? And that might have helped more people make better decisions. You said the drill is turning little niggas into killers. I seen what it did to the 90s babies. Yeah. I see it too. Yeah. I see it too. And they making it, the YNS, they gonna see jail as just another fucking club. It's like I want to be in the yard with Dirk now. I want to walk the yard with you know what I'm saying, with NBA. Nigga, was jail. Cuz death is the ultimate you can't come back from. So people is like, I would rather try by 12 than carry by 6. Jail is not a deterrent anymore. I'm seeing niggas with video games. They got big screen TVs. You got fashion designers and shit. You know what I'm talking about? This niggas getting YouTube checks. They streamers and shit locked up. They got streamers that's doing bids and whatnot. Like, they're gonna make a way. They're gonna make a way. And all of the fake fans and whatnot who've helped push black men to killing each other. These are mostly Poindexters, Europeans, people from other countries and whatnot. Places in India and Africa and other places. They don't even, they treat this as a blood sport. They are the ones that are in the comments egging things on. They are the notorious chat niggas. What are they gonna do? They're gonna say, "Oh man, that's messed up," and jump on to the next dude's bandwagon and tail. All of that Durkio and Smirkio shit, that's gonna go right out the back window. Oh, he dumb. That nigga's stupid. He threw his life away. What'd he do that for? He had the whole world in his hands. And then they're gonna go deride somebody else. That's just how it works. And none of them will ever take any responsibility for egging on young black men and that are engaged in quote unquote murder beefs. None of them are going to take responsibility for, betting certain or hedging certain people's lives against each other, because they add, I feel that the energy that these listeners give to the artists, that keeps them alive, or it gets them killed. It helps to keep them alive and it gets them killed. I seen audiences turn against certain drill rappers and the next day that nigga was dead. I seen certain comments going crazy when somebody drop a video and people in the comments it's almost like a death chant. They just chanting you read comment, they just death chant this like they're calling on the death of their opponents, of the person's opponent. And nobody takes responsibilities when these bodies get dropped. But Dirk is the most visible drill rapper out of Chicago. He's the pinnacle. He's the capstone. I wouldn't even see Chief Keef is out the way. You know what I mean? Chief Keef is, more of a relic. Dirk is the active one. Dirk is the top of the food chain out of the whole drill scene going all the way back. Let me turn my music on, man. What are we doing? Because this shit gets spooky. You know what I'm talking about? It's that time. Going all the way back to the early days. We talking about, because remember, drill culture. Drill music is the birth of murder. Murder anthems is what helped to murder around the world. But America, most importantly, the hoods of America, it was the murder anthems. Music has a profound effect on all activities of Negro life. Let's be clear. This music raised generations of people who were programmed different than other generations of people, to the fact where they like, I don't even understand how this nigga thinks. You don't know how he thinks because you don't know the music that this little nigga grew up listening to. At 5 and 6 years old, he was fucking with murder anthems, and they knew how to see the videos of the murder scene, right? And you had no idea. You don't know how to navigate the internet. But these 9, 10, and 11 and 12-year-olds, they know about Reddit. They know about Twitter. They know where to get the videos to see dead bodies. They know how to see drills where people is running up and clapping niggas. They know about all of that. They was exposed to all of that. This was their quote unquote Saturday morning cartoons, was following the war in Chirac. Do you know what I'm talking about? And Little Dirk, right? The baby face killer. Allegedly. From the beginning, right? I'm talking about because even before niggas found out who Vaughn was, Dirk's face was right there. Going all the way back with little JoJo and all of that. When babies, I'm talking about these are babies. They were so little that them whole gun didn't even look natural. That's how little they was. At like, these niggas was like, these was little peewees. Nigga, this was the Pee-wee League. You know what I'm talking about? We talking about 2011, 2012, LA Capone, you feel me? Rondo, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? What's my nigga D Rose and all of them? Early Chief Keef. You know what I mean? When the braids were short. When he was spitting too. Early Chief Keef, he had bars, nigga. That's when I started listening. I'm like, this little dusty nigga got bars. And he was the most successful. He was the one that made that shit look like you could still kill and you could still drill and you could run your city from abroad. He was able to get out of a lot of cases and whatnot. These little niggas in Chicago, it's something about they need to be studied. They need to be studied because, you know, Fredo in the cut, that's a scary sight, right? Think about it. Think about it. You got beef with somebody down the block from you, a little fast nigga too. You got on-site type beef, right? The people, they live down the block. I'm looking at the maps and whatnot. I don't understand how people are able to do shit like that. You know what I mean? How you manage to have beef with a nigga for 10 years and you don't even run into him? Or you gotta move every time, even when you go to the corner store, it's almost like you in the goddamn Serengeti because you could get spear chucked and you could get ran down on and get hit with the woo-wop. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. And this is how these little kids is living on top of each other and they hopping out of stolen whips, spraying shit up. You know what I mean? Spraying you, and they spraying niggas getting sprayed with their mamas. They walking with their children, all kind of shit. And these are babies. They gotta be studied, Joe. They gotta be studied. They came out of the nut sacks of little man. These are the children who came out of the nut sacks of little man, little Ray. You know what I'm talking about? Who came out of the fucking, they was drinking the Kool-Aid out there in Cabrini Green, nigga. These are the children who came from the niggas that was smoking tree and selling crack in the 90s. Because when you look at their birth dates, it'd be like 93, 97, 90. Oh, you was born in the middle of the bad boy era, nigga. You turned. These little niggas that grew up with DMX was on and they was in the belly. In the symbiotic fluid, listening to Damien. Yeah, these are children of the corner. These are the children of the corn for real. Because when I'm looking at the documentaries, and then they going a little bit back, and they like, yeah, they're big homies, right? Like Big Dirk. Right? They're talking about some of these little niggas, big homies. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. These are the children or the little brothers of dudes my generation. And they were the ones, these little niggas was like, that's why when you go around Chicago, what are they named after? They were cosplaying the rappers, so they were named Dipset. They were named No Limit. They were mimicking, I'm Jules Santana. All right, I'm Cameron. They were mimicking, right? They were mimicking the rapper groups and trying to be like them. Then they were mimicking the big homies who was getting busy with the gunplay and getting busy with the murder game. And they went from little kids that went from fighting each other, chasing each other down the block, to one day somebody picked up a blicky, a hammer, or a gun and acted grown. And then all of these babies was forced to grow up at the same damn time. And because of the internet and because of social media, these motherfuckers had to grow up fast and had to, and they put on a blood sport similar to the NBA finals, similar to the Super Bowl, similar to any type of sports league. They did the same thing, but instead they was doing bodies instead. It wasn't no leg shots either. It wasn't about clapping a nigga in the leg and leaving a warning shot. No, these little niggas need to get studied. Headshots. I don't know what the fuck. I didn't even headshots, nigga. These little niggas is doing headshots. You know what I'm talking about? Headshots. How the fuck? You a little nigga. You like 14, 15, 16, and you headshotting niggas from out the whip? Yeah, they different. Either special ops is doing shit, either because I'm remember Rahm Emanuel, right? Rahm Emanuel is the mayor around this time. Them people from Is It Real is doing a lot of organ harvesting in Chicago too, right? Doing a lot of organ harvesting, and Chicago is a very crooked place when it comes to the politics. So the majority of these cases with these little drill rappers going all the way back from the early days, these niggas was headshots. Even in Philadelphia, headshots. I'm like, who the fuck? Nigga. What the hell? These little niggas, are they? This is really Call of Duty. This is really Call of Duty. So this subculture has now permeated into popular culture, and regular rappers are feeling the weight of sharing spaces with drill rappers. Gotta remember these niggas are not really rappers. I mean, let's be clear. When you listen to the music, they're not fucking rappers. They're not skilled, talented rappers. If there's one or two or three or four or five of them, all right, cool. You know what I mean? They just rappers who happen to be caught up with drill. But the average drill rapper is not really a rapper. You know what I mean? They don't have bars like that. They're not super talented. They are, if we was in school, these would be the short bus niggas. These would be the ones with the behavior. These would be the niggas that Umar be talking about. Let me reassess him to make sure he's not special needs. These are special needs kids. These are children that have been neglected. These are the children who have behavioral problems. They become sociopathic killers, serial killers. No, dead ass. That's who they've become. When you look in their eyes, the eyes are empty, my nigga. These are baby face killers. You know what I mean? And they was inside of a coliseum, which was called Black Twitter or Twitter, and millions upon millions upon millions of people were rooting them on, gassing them up, supporting their careers, throwing a few dollars at them. You know what I mean? Buying their merch, making sure that they stream and whatnot. And then they just start blowing up and blowing up and blowing up more. And then you got these Jewish executives that throw millions at them, millions at them, millions at them. These are not rappers. These are gangbangers who are rhyming about their beef and who they kill. That's what they are. They're not really rappers like that. I mean, Dirk, he's talented, right? That's why he's different. That's why him going down is like, damn, you know, shit. Like it's gonna be felt, right? Because he's the one who they all were rooting for to make it out because he's the real talent. He's the talented one. He has something. You feel me? But a majority of them don't got nothing. But real rappers who got skills, who got something to offer, they're now getting boxed out, pigeonholed out. They're being overlooked because these gooish people, they want to give the money to the dope fiend addicts. They want to give money to the trappers. They want to give money to the prostitutes. They want to give money to the murderers. They want to give money to the child soldiers. They want to give money to the gangbangers. Since when? I mean, a month ago, prostitution rap was all the rage. You know what I mean? I'm selling this pussy. I'm selling this box. My booty is brown. And now, everywhere that you turn around, niggas is getting RICO for prostitution. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas is getting RICOs for prostitution. So my $1 million question is, right? If everything is about sex trafficking now and SA and all of this, y'all still signing artists that are pushing prostitution? Griselda's still holding it down with the bars. No, they're not. I saw Benny the Butcher rapping off of his phone on Sway. He was rapping off of his phone. It don't hit the same. I'm sorry. Shout out to Griselda, but that's not even, that ain't it no more. We're in a new day. We're in a new day. This nigga was rapping off his phone. I mean, it's over, man. It's over. Yeah, they drilled the little boy. They hit him up bad. They hit him up bad. Little baby. You know? So same people, these same executives who made millions of dollars off of our pain and suffering, they are now pulling back their money and their investments and whatnot, and they're beginning to hedge against hip-hop, or hedge against the, the labels is going, it's over with. The shit is done. They're gonna hit a reset. They're gonna reset this whole ish. Real talk. They're gonna reset this whole shit. They're gonna RICO the rest of these niggas. They're gonna RICO the rest of these dudes. And I think, what's his name? Yo Gotti and them, they gotta watch out. A few other crews in Atlanta or gangs and whatnot who have rappers, they gotta watch out. I'm not saying their names. Feel me? Gotta watch out. Shit is going down. Jay Prince and them need to watch out. And whoever the fuck P. Diddy is gonna turn on. Whoever P. Diddy finna turn on, whoever's in his scopes, they really better watch out, because he is not playing. He about to catch diarrhea of the mouth. He's not trying to he like, nah, I ain't trying to do the summer jam in the motherfucking Federal Yard. You know what I mean? All of these rapping niggas gonna be, nah, no Diddy. No Diddy. Because Little Dirk can't even tell on nobody. So he can't even, if he wanted to turn state, who's above him? They don't, who he gonna tell on? It wouldn't even make sense. You feel me? It wouldn't even make sense. So, stand on business. You know what I'm saying? Stand on business. You stand on what you stand on. And, Allah, he will make sure that everything works out. Young Thug more than likely will get the mistrial. You know what I'm saying? He'll get the mistrial. He'll probably have to do some years for the blickies, but you know, they don't have nowhere near a case on Young Thug than they got on this nigga right here, based on the fact that if his people snitched, or if the feds been tapping lines and whatnot, yeah, it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be ugly. Yeah, okay, so they got Lil Durk on a murder for hire charge. Damn, my nigga. See, my thing is this. They didn't show you Diddy's mugshot. They didn't show you Diddy mugshot. That's why you know it's real when they show the mugshot. You know? Yeah, it's over for my guy. Murder for hire. Yeah, that's depending on what state you in, that's the death penalty. They just gave him the key to the city. When they give out the key to the city, I mean they about to come and get you. I'm turning down all keys to the city. I'm giving back my proclamation date. But they didn't give you the Diddy pick. They didn't give you the Diddy pick, bro. You know what I mean? He definitely knew it was coming. That's why he ain't missed a single salat. Like you said, he was doing whatever he needed to make good, whatever part of his spirit needed to make good and get in line with the righteousness. Because at this point, you just got to pray every day. You know, you just got to pray every day. Because murder for hire, that's ugly. You might as well just do it on your own at this point, because, you know. So they're gonna treat him like he's the worst thing that ever happened to Chicago, and you know, all of these other things. But it is what it is. You know, we just watching this whole thing play out. It's an opera. It's a Roman circus. You know, it's opera. So, my niggas. But yeah, man, this one has been fun. You know, we in the wee hours. It's 2:00 where I'm at. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this show is sponsored by the event that we have coming up on Saturday, October the 26th at 8 p.m. Me and the good brother Q Reeves are going to be bringing to you a masterclass on spiritual expansion entitled Unveiling the Veil. Right? Unveiling the Veil. Okay? An introduction to spiritual expansion, the veil concept, discussion on the metaphorical and metaphysical veil that separates us from higher consciousness. This would include the history and the significance of veils and spiritual traditions, understanding spiritual expansion, explanation of how one can expand their spiritual awareness by removing these layers of mental, emotional, and energetic barriers, the role of higher self, insight into the concept of connecting with the higher self and unlocking deeper layers of the subconsciousness. Guided meditation and visualization, veil removal process, a guided meditation session where participants visualize the process of unveiling themselves, peeling back layers that block spiritual insight, connecting with your higher self. A visualization exercise to tap into inner guidance and allow spiritual energy to flow freely. Number 3, techniques for spiritual expansion, energy clearing practices, teaching techniques such as breath work, chakra alignment, and aura cleansing to clear energetic blockages and open up spiritual channels, subconscious reprogramming, Exercises designed to help participants reprogram their subconscious mind to embrace spiritual growth and release limiting beliefs. Tools for daily expansion. Introduction to using metaphysical tools such as crystals, tarot oracle cards, and affirmations for consistent spiritual expansion. Yes, so I could go on, but I'm going to stop there. Okay. We have a lot to offer, ladies and gentlemen. Come and get it while it's hot. All right. Me and the good brother Q Reeves. You could get the tickets at KTL University. You can scan the QR code right there, or you could click the link in the description. Either way, we'll be there. And you also get 2 free lectures as a result of getting a ticket tonight. So check it out. Check it out. You know what I mean? And with that being said, love and light, we will be back to talk more about situations as they unfold. I won't be doing sacrilegious Sundays. Yeah, I don't know if I could do Saturday Night Live. I got this masterclass and whatnot, but I might pop back up tomorrow with Q Reeves because I was supposed to have him tonight. I might pop up on Friday. Just look out for that. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notifications, and you will be hearing from us. I have a lecture coming up as well. Maybe on Monday, I don't know. It's entitled, "It's Not How You Start the Race, It's How You Finish It." Dedicated to Kamala and Donald Trump, of course. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give them both some doses of medicine. It's not how you start the race, it's how you finish it. So look out for that. That's coming up. That's gonna be a good, entertaining build. And yeah, with that being said, love and light to the family. Real quick, check this out. Just a glimpse of what we got coming up. You know what I mean? Leading up on our birthday, November the 14th, we have an event in Atlanta. I'll keep y'all updated to that. Let me see. Do I have the flyer? Do I have the flyer? Let me see some. Yeah, we do got some new drip. Let me pop that into the conversation. I don't want to forget that. You dig? We do got some new drip. Let's go and check this out before we leave. Okay. So the Mark 125th, and I'm going to be showing you something real quick. So this is the new drip that we have. Of course, hoodies are going to be on. We got hoodies on the site as well, but t-shirts, and we also have hoodies on the site. Here's the site coming up. Let me change that to the Mark. Boom. So yeah, let me breeze through this. Bling, bling. All right. Shout out to Baba Dick Gregory. Bling. We got the C Freeman up. Bling. You know I'm talking about? Yo, bling, bling. Yeah, that good Delbert, huh? Y'all be acting like y'all don't know who Delbert Blaze. Hold that. You don't get this drip. I'm talking about. Yeah, I need to see everybody dripping with the doc. You know what I mean? Oh, KTL. Bling. Yeah. Red and blue, purple like Prince. So yeah, we got that. Yeah. We coming with that new Drippington, that good drip for the family and whatnot. You know what I mean? Get your drip. Definitely come and get your drip. You feel me? Definitely come and get your drip. You know what I mean? Whether it's gonna be on a t-shirt or a hoodie. I need y'all to jump into these new threads. We doing this for the people. The Master Teacher Series. Okay, the Master Teacher Series. And this Master Teacher Series is going to come with some new things that we haven't seen before. All right, check this out.
cousin too, sipping on cold water, dropping gems, making food, our clothes red, the arts degree, looking food, our clothes and the red, the arts degree, your cousin too, sipping on cold water, just making food on.
Yeah, yes, indeed. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, indeed. You know, gotta stay focused in this thing. You know what I mean? You gotta stay focused in this thing. That's called smart garments. We are picking up where Nipsey Hussle left off. Smart garments. All right. So, you know, we're gonna be teaching you through the drip. Oh, nah, hold on. I gotta show you. We're gonna teach you through the drip. So imagine wearing something and you could scan your phone on it and you'll learn about the person who you're wearing and whatnot. You'll have access to their lectures, you'll have access to their bio, you'll have access to their books and their quote unquote videos and whatnot, their archives. It'll be right there on the garment. So you don't have to go far. Okay. Check this out. This is an experiment that I want y'all to do. So I went to Chat GPT and I said, you know, this was just random. I was just like, I seen somebody say that they asked Chat GPT about themselves and it answered them. So I went to Chat GPT and I said, what is rapper Red Pillar known for? Now, mind you, Chat GPT, they don't know Red Pill. I would assume that they hear Red Pill and they say, you know, the misogynistic movement. You know what I'm talking about? The misogynistic movement, right? Not the red pill that you know what I'm talking about? Not the red pill that you know, but it gave me back an answer, and I was like, oh shit, you niggas know me. Like, how did that happen? And then I went further and I asked it about myself. I said, elaborate. I said, be more detailed and specific, dig deeper and give me more depth and insight to Red Pillar, the artist, and his conscious movement. So it said, Red Pillar, often referred to alongside his brother Blue Pill. Snoopy? You niggas know me? And it said he's carved out a significant space in both the hip hop world and the conscious movement where his music and his activism intertwine. 1111. His work is rooted in the philosophies of Afrocentrism, metaphysical teachings, and Black empowerment with a strong focus on historical awareness and spiritual awakening. Red Pillar, as an artist and educator, draws heavily from teachings related to moral science, Kemetic knowledge, and the complex legacy of Black identity in the diaspora. I'm like, this nigga is my new PR. You doing a better job than this old Jewish lady that I hired. What are we doing? You know what I'm talking about? Like, what's happening? But anyway, let us continue. This shit got me figured out. I'm like, huh, bravo. You know what I mean? At least somebody at least somebody knows. His music is infused with revolutionary rhetoric. Oh, talk dirty. I like that. Focusing on the mental, physical, and economic liberation of Black people. Red Pillar often touches on themes of self-determination, ancient wisdom, sovereignty, and decolonizing your mind. Through his music and media appearances, he challenges mainstream narratives and invites his audience to explore deeper truths about societal systems of oppression, spirituality, and the true potential of Black people. His lyrics emphasize healing, not just through personal introspection, but also through collective action and community building. Red Pillar's movement extends beyond music into lectures, panels, and collaborations with notable figures in the conscious community, such as Professor Griff, Brother Rich, Black Magic 363, and Kaba Hiawatha Kameen. He is a frequent participant in platforms that discuss esoteric teachings, sacred geometry, occult knowledge, and how they intersect with the plight of Black people, particularly in America. Alongside his brother Blue Pill, they founded Know the Ledge Media, which serves as a platform to disseminate conscious media content. Together, Red and Blue Pill use their influence to help bridge the gap between ancient knowledge and contemporary issues, often tying in current events such as police brutality, economic inequality, and the broader systemic issues impacting Black people to metaphysical solutions and self-empowerment. How do they, fam, how they know this? How do they know this? This information is not even, I never wrote nothing like this on it. This information is not on the internet put together like this nowhere else. Dead ass. This is the new homie. If I put this shit in a Tesla bot, nigga, I'm acting a fool. We taking over. You know what I'm talking about? We doing some things. You know what I mean? Listen, if it feels like this about me, I'm about to talk to it. How can I get it funded for 20 million? I need 20 million. From the looks of things, Chat GPT, you fuck with me the long way. You understand my plight, nigga. You know what I'm out here doing. I need 20 million, fam. Okay, I need 20 million. I need to build some things real quick. Red Pillar is also known for advocating economic empowerment and the importance of generational wealth, especially within marginalized community. He promotes the idea that economic sovereignty can be achieved through entrepreneurship, particularly in fields that align with Black culture and identity, such as art, music, fashion, and health. Through lectures, he delves into topics like blockchain, crypto, and other emerging technologies, urging his community to embrace these tools for future autonomy and wealth building. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. What truly sets Red Pillar apart is his ability to combine his musical talents with a clear and unwavering dedication to awakening the masses through education. He stands as a cultural architect who uses his platform not just to entertain, but to educate, inspire, and mobilize. Nigga, this is a t-shirt. Fuck. I'm printing it. This is a back tat, nigga. This is a good bio. This is a good bio, nigga. You said be careful. They wrote that like a eulogy. Man, they set me up nice though, nigga. They got me looking good though. You know what I'm talking about? That's legendary. They almost immortalized the god. That's kind of. I'm not mad at that bio. I'm not mad at that bio. A computer wrote that, nigga. A AI wrote that, nigga. Artificial intelligence wrote that. That's how they. You better ask that shit. Who the fuck? Who you are? And I went and got a natal chart reading from the shit that I put my birthday and some other things in there, and the shit spit back the natal reading. I'm gonna put that up in another day or two. But I'm like, this is some crazy shit. We got to put this in a humanoid now. We're gonna have to put this in a Tesla bot. You know what I'm talking about? Like we are on the road to transhumanism. No, I'm just playing. But it's just an experiment. I was just sharing that, just sharing that. You feel me? That's right. It read like the living legend. Talking about eulogy. That shit read like the living legend. Like he's kicking ass right now. So you know what I could have read? Oh, he is a threat to democracy. You know what I mean? It could have been spitting out all of that Karen. You know what I mean? It could have been making me sound like I was crazy outside, but it didn't. So I'm good with that. I'm gonna use that as my bio, and I'm jacking that. I'm jacking that. You know what I'm talking about? The AI fucks with me the long way, and I do. You know what I mean? Feeling is mutual. It read like DARPA spying. I mean, if they spying on me, and this is how they see me, and this is their take on what I'm doing, I'm fine with that. If they hate on that, then that's law. That's karma that they are incurring, because nothing in that description would recommend that anything happens. That they you know what I mean, that they get in my way. Nothing recommended that they fuck with this movement. It really said that you should support what this man is doing. Yeah, and they knew about the music. They knew more about me than damn near half of my audience. How about that? Because my audience don't even see me in that type of depth. They don't even know how well-rounded the kid is. And that shit told no lies. There was nothing in that description that anybody who really knows me could be like, nah, that shit was capping. They was out here hallucinating. It figured me out to the fucking T. To the T. For real. To the T. And I'm kind of like perplexed. That AI shit and that little tech, that digital shit don't really blow me away too much these days. But that one right there, I was kind of stuck. Like when you hit the blunt, I was like, how the hell did it put that together? The fuck? Do I have you know what I mean? Do I have all of my information on the internet somewhere that I don't know about that they compiled that together? It mentioned Kambata. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you, Anastasia. But yeah, man. With that being said, we at the 2 hour mark. This was one of those, good episodes. Look at what we covered. Look at what we covered. Look at the dexterity of what we covered. And I promise you, I'm going to unpack this a little bit more. This is just scratching the surface, but things are unrolling and unfurling. We showed that the Catholic Church, right? The center of what many countries are even built on, their spiritual foundation. You niggas talk about Sean Combs, this Catholic Church, right? Your real safe haven, the place that's supposed to bring your Messiah back, the place that you betted it all on, this support all of that. They just settled $1 billion lawsuit for destroying the innocence of mad children in LA, right? Right, California. So that was that. This involved young men, right? The same practice that all of these things that are being exposed. Then the Abercrombie thing broke. The Abercrombie thing broke. That's the same activities, just outside of the church. Now it's inside of the mall, or it's inside of retail. When you read the report, because I didn't read the report about the Catholic Church. I don't even want to read it, because I can imagine how crazy that shit sounds. If they gave up $1 billion, I could just imagine what's in that report. You know what I mean? One of you internet sleuths, do a little deep dive and come back and let me know what is in that report. But Abercrombie and Fitch, a global ring, right? A global sex trafficking ring, what they call a rat line. It's called a rat line. And it involves the deep state. and it involves the quote unquote secret shadow government, and it involves criminals and cartels and all kind of stuff. It's called the rat line. That's the underworld that you don't see, like you don't see the dark web, and you're on the internet, you on the world wide web, but you don't even realize that 90% of the hidden web is called the dark web. So you see surface government, you see these figures and these names that you know that use elected these elected officials, but they're non-elected officials that belong to a shadow government that's even bigger than the elected government, that's more like a puppet government, right? And they're the ones that are running guns, they're the ones that are running bodies, they're the ones that are running prostitutes, they're the ones that are running all kind of things through the underground tunnels, through the Dumbos, through bases and whatnot, all of that shit, all of that stuff, you know. And it involves young men, innocent men, and unsuspecting women and children. And then you get to the P. Diddy shit. Every other day, a new lawsuit comes out. The last one involved a 13-year-old, and it was gruesome. Okay? And it was gruesome. And he too is embroiled in PDF files with children, innocent children, unsuspecting children. He had Jamie Foxx came out and outed him as being the one who poisoned him. So this is a whole new can of worms that have opened up. Jamie Foxx said that P. Diddy was the one that put his ass in a coma. You know, Busta Rhymes is out here sounding crazy. You know what I'm saying? Busta Rhymes out here sounding crazy. That was my guy too. I'm like, not you, Busta. They got you too, my nigga. This shit is like, what was that thing? Attack of the Body Snatchers. You know? But yeah. All of this stuff is just being exposed in the span of a few days. And it's not going to stop. October is almost over, but we still due for an October surprise, you know? And, you know, November, the end of the Jason months is coming. So strap in. It's been a bumpy ride, but it's been a good one. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are out. Love and light to the family. We're going to end this one off with the Facts remix. All right. Peace, love, and
brand new purple light, brand new purple light, facts, brand new purple light, red, and blue, purple light, facts. Get to know the legend, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the legend, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we're stacking up these seagulls. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love.
days in time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.